have some scratch paper for when we get to the coloring part. Also, the coloring part is time-lapse here on YouTube, and it's in real time over at Awesome Art School. And that is because otherwise these lessons are about 90 minutes, and people on YouTube do not watch 90-minute videos. So if you are taking this a lot more seriously and you want to take your art to the next level and really get those real-time lessons under your belt, they are there for you. Okay, so we're going to start with an oval like we normally would for a woman or whatever gender we're doing. And then right away, we're going to kind of like start manufying this, masculifying it. So here are the key differences. First of all, before I even do the guidelines or whatever, I am going to kind of masculine this face up. And how do we do that? So I'm looking right here. We have these are straight lines, straight line across the bottom. So we can even like start at the chin, which is an average of all of these circles that I've drawn. Okay, so this is like straight across, and then we can have straight across. So I'm working within the confines of all those ovals. Okay, and then this is straight up and down, and this is straight up and down. I'm trying to think if I should even make him bigger. He's so small. He's small on my paper. Where's my eraser? I think I will make him bigger. Well, we still have to get all this shirty stuff in. I'll make him a little bit bigger. Nothing crazy though. All right, so say we have, off to a good start. Okay, so we have this big. So we have 1, and then we get to the same distance here. Okay, and then we angle it. Remember, you think angle, angle, angles. Angle, angle, angle. Come together. It's almost like you would be making like a triangle here, and then you just cut off the bottom of the triangle. It's the easiest way to kind of explain it. See that? That would have been a triangle, and I just lopped it off. Okay, the other huge difference, and by the way, I have a little fun book called How to Draw Fun Fab Fellas, which actually goes over the three views of the man's face. We have front, 3/4, and profile. I actually have a book, so people are like, how come you don't do men? I'm like, oh no, I did, because I have 3 boys, and when they were little, they would be like, why don't you draw any men, Mom? And I was like, all right, I'll make a book just for you. So I did. All right, so the second thing, which is also in the book, is what's the width of the neck is massive. So if you can see, it comes off right here, like right off the jawline is the neck. So that's the other big difference. It looks like a big meathead on the paper, but like that really is, it's huge. They have huge, thick necks. And then all of a sudden too, we have this collar coming around. And it's gonna get cut off pretty quickly by the paper just ending. Doop. And luckily this is a copyright-free image, so we can go to town. I can include it in the book, so that's cool. And here's his coat coming up. Now I just noticed actually this is a little bit lower, so I'm going down more into the triangle. Scooch all this up a little bit. It's getting a little bit too big. Okie doke. Now he looks enormous. I went from being too small to too big. I'm just gonna carry on and pretend that's not the case. All right, as always, we need our guidelines in there. Sorry, just have a little cup of coffee with me since it is very early in the morning. All right, let's divide this again, and that's the eye line. The guidelines for men and women are identical, okay? So you still have One down the center, one across the middle. Then we're dividing that in half again. It's the same. So what the cool thing about this, doing these faces, that you realize how similar we all are. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, and then the ears nestle in between the eye line. And his actually, oh my gosh, this is so weird. We did the same thing when we did the UK Cool Lady. Remember one ear was like tiny and in a totally different place? He's the same. That is so weird. Look at this. This ear is like, starts way down here, and this one is smaller than this one, like by a lot. That's so weird. Okay. This is what happens when you start, zeroing in on these people's faces and details. It's like you can't unsee them after a while. I get like that about my husband's face because his eyes are like too close together, and I can never unsee it. I'm always like, why? Why are your eyes in the wrong place? It's so annoying. Okay, so his ears actually go way up to his eyebrows. They go even higher, but I'm just going to leave them where they are because guess what? This is whimsical, so we can do whatever we want. Okay, so his eyes are going to be 3 across. And the biggest difference just between Asian style eyes and not Asian style eyes is just the lack of, and this isn't for all Asian, there's actually a number of different Asian eye styles as well. But one of them is that there's the absence of a lid. So this is what we are finding in this case, which actually just makes it super straightforward. There's just not a secondary lid on top. That's all that means. So we want to make sure our spacing is good, and then we will fine tune those in a second. Let me just keep putting in the what's it called? The guidelines in. So the other thing that I'm noticing is the lighting on this is really cool. And this is the lighting aspect is actually why I picked this, photo reference, because I haven't seen lighting like this before. Just gonna leave this like this for now, and then the mouth is right here. Okay, and look how mannish it looks already. Like it actually looks like a dude, and that's all that is because the thickness of the neck, again, is like bing, bing, huge man indicator, and also, the angles of the jawline. I have like 2 distinct lines for his chin over here. Pick one, just pick one. And I noticed too, his jaw bends, and I'm talking about this angle, kind of just above the mouth line. So mine is a little high. I just don't know that I even care if it's super duper accurate. I really kind of don't, because it is, again, just kind of whimsical. But if you want to be super picky, paying attention to where that is all occurring is a good way to be accurate if you're into that kind of thing, I guess. Okay, so there's his face guidelines. His eyebrows are going to be, they're going to start a little bit to the left of his eye and a little bit over here. And then we're just going to kind of quickly put his hair in. Now, men's hair, like women's hair, has a lot of volume, so it's gonna also go above. But there's no part. Now the women's, well, I can't actually see it because it's in the dark, but women's hair, you start with a part and you come in and over, and it is the same thing. There is a volume here, so we can even just like sketch in the volume, and then he has bangs coming down. So they're kind of like this. So what we'll do is I'm just going to block in the hair for right now. And he's got some that are going this way and some that are going this way and this way. And then he's got also some sideburns here. So I'm just I'm just drawing in the general like shape of hair. It comes here and is in front of his ears, here in front of his ears. I don't know what it looks like in the back. We can only kind of guess because it's so dark. But at least we have kind of the beginning of the hair shape, and it goes all the way down actually to his eyebrow, which is way down here. So I have it ending way too high up. Yeah, I need to like bring it down. Bring it down. So I'm just lightly kind of sketching where it's gonna go. And then from there, we can figure out like how much volume do we go. Okay, so we zoom out and we have kind of the outline of all the things, okay? So the next step will be, we're gonna define the eyes, nose, and mouth and get that all perfectly enough, and then we will get on to coloring. All right, let's get to fine tuning these features. I'm gonna zoom in super close so we can see here, even closer. All right, oh, you gotta focus, there we go. Okay, so the eyes are super simple. We're just gonna do one curved line like this, whoop. And that's another thing too, when you're drawing dudes, it's like less. You're doing everything less. I just want to make sure. Yeah, I guess that's right. This actually kind of tucks under. It's so simplistic. It's like you feel like you're not even doing enough. This little point goes away. This is actually a very roundy, but they're tiny. And that's actually very like real when it comes to drawing realistic eyes anyways. Oh, that's cool. It's like a little, kind of like a little hook right there. Again, super minimal. Whoop, that's too far extended, but I'll fix it in a second. And then this just goes up tiny, tiny. And then there's just barely lashes, and I'm not even gonna do more than that. And then where's my circle template? You know, it's so weird. For like years, I didn't care about ever using a template for circles, and now I find I really just feel better about doing it. I just want to make sure his eyes are not too far apart. Let's see, he's gonna have, no, I think they're fine. So, oh, I was mentioning before about the reason I chose this reference was the light source. So in this case, this is really unusual lighting, and it leaves, it's very cool on his face. So he has lights here coming from either side. That's why the nose bridge on him is the darkest. Isn't this cool? I've actually never seen this. Well, I have never drawn one where the lighting was like this. So he's got dual lights, and I only know this because when I'm recording, I use dual lights. So I know a little bit about lighting from that perspective. But check this out. The highlights are here and here. It's like kind of the opposite than most lighting patterns you see on faces. So this is gonna be dark, and then this is highlighted, and here is highlighted. Isn't that super interesting? But you get these clear little paths of highlights, so that's gonna make shading this very interesting. So back to the irises. As always, of every nationality, or ethnicity, we want to make sure that the irises are cut off by the eyelids. This is no exception. So we're gonna just pick one out. Now I can see from the reference that his iris is almost kind of sitting on the lower lid. So I'm gonna position my template on the lower lid, more or less. Okay, and so that's kind of what you see. These might be a little bit large. So I'm just gonna bring them in, kind of using my own pencil. And again, this comes down. The eyes are so small. It's really hard. I struggle with I struggle with details. I'm not a detail person. I'm like a giant canvas person. So that's also why I wanted to do this series. It's such good practice to like get out of your comfort zone. Go create something that you're not used to creating. Or his eyebrows actually start kind of close together. They're like his eyes here and then his eyebrows are wider. Just another observation. So I'm just gonna like sketch in. Oh, I don't think they're quite as high up though. I think my original placement was fine. I'm just gonna have them kind of start up higher, and they're kind of like just fun little bushy eyebrows, but they just start over here more than originally, and they're kind of thicker in the middle, and then they're kind of sparse. Poor man, you know, women are like, have so much makeup and all this stuff, like correcting their flaws and making them perfect. Like if this was a woman, this would be all makeup in here. Poor men's just what they were born with and nothing else. So this is the light source. I'm going to actually sketch this in to show you guys what I see. So this is what I'm seeing for the light source. Is that like this right here is highlighted. Super cool. And again, there's like this almost like a line here. And then the bridge of the nose is here and here. And that's all highlighted on either side. So this is I'm not gonna leave those lines there, but I just wanted to show that to you because that's, if I was gonna draw a line for where the highlights are, that's where the line would be. So if you didn't see it before, I hope that helps you to kind of see that. That will all be done with the marker portion. Because our nose bridges, if you've been following the series, are created not by lines, but by shadow. Okay, so we have his nose is down here. Oh. And it has a beautiful curve to it in the center. And it kind of rolls around like this. It's going to come up and rolls around like this. Right? And then this kind of carries up this way and kind of carries up this way. And then the blackened part is just in this point only. Do that with the pencil. Yeah, and all the rest of this is done in shading. I'll just put a super light line. Also, yeah, my guideline is throwing me off. So it's kind of like this. And in my Fun Fab Fellas book, I do have, the men's noses are really fun. You can do quite a bit with them, more so than on a woman, to have some hard lines in there. Just that's like my Fun Fab style, which is not really this kind of same genre that we've been doing, but I'm gonna leave it like that. Or maybe not, because it's actually not. Okay, sorry, I'm getting really into the nose. But that's what happens when you kind of like hyper focus on something. And then this is actually even down more. Yeah. That's all I'm going to do for right now. Oh, good. We get to do some. He doesn't have a mustache, but it's like you can see his stubble anyways. So that'll be kind of cool. Now we have to be careful on the lips. We don't get girly. It's too high. And that is also can be helped by drawing, first of all, not coloring it a color, even if it looks like that on the reference. You don't have to color it like that. And he's got really like dark things here at the end. And also what I tend to do is like not draw a super full like you don't draw really well defined lips. He has very full lips, so we have to kind of be careful that it doesn't, my workaround is to not draw all these lines super hard. You can even kind of like just do like an indication, and because the more you accentuate it and define it, then the more it kind of looks girly. Weird, right? But true. All right, I feel like our sketch is actually kind of ready for some coloring. I'm just kind of taking a minute. Now is where we can tweak things. Come on. I think this eye can actually move over a tad, and then we'll be ready to get going here. I'm just going to move it over a little tiny bit while we still have time. Put in our pupil. And I always encourage you, like, don't be scared to change things. Like, you can erase it and redraw it. I know it's very easy to get caught up. Excuse my head, I need to use it for the template. It's very easy to get caught up in, like, being very precious about it. But remember, if you drew it once, you can draw it twice. It's not an accident that you did a good job on your first drawing. So don't be afraid to pick things up and moving them. And now I think that eye is too high. So guess what? I'm gonna do it again. I know, I'm a glutton for punishment. So take a minute, step away from your drawing, and just make sure you have everything where you want it to go, because if you want to make changes, again, now is the time to do it. Now is the time, my friends. And then get out your markers. You can also, excuse my hat as I use this template, you can also just do whatever mediums you want. I have people doing their work in graphite. I have people doing elaborate mixed media styles. You can do whatever you want. So I do, if you're watching this on YouTube, suggest watching if you want to get an idea of the layering process, because layering is something that it's not unique to alcohol markers. I'm a mixed media artist, in case you didn't know, and you can use the similar principles of like layering and layering to get everything quote unquote right in any medium. And in fact, in every medium. I can't think of a single medium where you're kind of just like one and done. Okay? So don't hesitate to do that. And I'm gonna go grab my alcohol markers. I'm gonna grab my, yeah, it's funny. This shading guide is kind of really helpful, even if you're not comparing the makers, but just because I also sorted it by color family, you can pick your colors. It helps you pick your colors from the right color family, light, medium, and dark in all the brands. So it's actually helpful in more than just for brand comparison reasons. So highly useful. If you want a copy, again, just let me know in the below in the comments, and I will give you a link that allows you to download it. And students, again, it's right here in the classroom for you. For whatever it's worth, just noting things that are different. My dude's face is wider. I could take this in a bit, and you can also cheat that by just having the hair kind of start earlier, if you know what I'm saying. So if you don't want to like change your whole drawing, you can just adjust the way that things relate to one another. So that like instantly like made his face thinner. So I'm not sure I care. I'm just drawing that to your attention. You'll always be noticing things like that, and you can either do something about them or not do something about them. It's totally up to you. I'm just gonna let it go. Okay.
All right, so here goes the super fun process of coloring the face in. Now, what you didn't see and what I just cut out of the video is the process that I used using my new color comparison guide to choose the skin tone colors. Now, I've never been organized about picking out the skin tone colors. As you may or may not have known, I just grab, swatch, and go. So I made this entire 12-page PDF to actually help my students who are doing like all of these real-time videos with me over at Awesome Art School. And you can sign up to do this video, to do these in real time with me there too. But I made this resource because they asked for it, not because I personally wanted it, to be honest, because I am like perfectly comfortable in my hot mess life to grab and go. However, I've been really, really shocked and surprised by how much I've been leaning on it since I created it. It was a huge, huge time suck to make. It took forever. But now that I have it in my hand, I've actually done 4 brand new projects for various classrooms at Awesome Art School, in addition to this one that you're watching. And you know what? I have to say, being able to, at a glance, quickly pick out, decide what color category you're doing, peach-based, peach, pink, yellow, or brown, number 1, seeing all the colors there, and then quickly understanding is grabbing colors that are light, medium, and dark to all coordinate together. It actually cuts out a lot of time. So it's a very cool resource. I hope you grab it. It's free. Just, again, let me know. But just a little word on that. So a couple notes about this guy as I color him in. Number 1, he's a really cute dude in real life. And I just have to say, I kind of make him look like a serial killer, and I feel really bad about that. I'm not happy, just in full transparency, with the end result. Because again, he's super cute, and like he doesn't look super cute at the end. It's not his fault, it's mine. So that's where I don't enjoy doing realism faces. Now, I'm calling this whole series whimsical, obviously, which sort of implies that we're not being super realistic, but I do get bummed out if I'm not really happy with the end result. And this is the first week that I'm personally not super happy with the end result. And I don't think it's because he's a dude. I think it's just because of how he came out. So that's on me. So just a couple words too on this project is that 1, he's not going to be included in the book. If you didn't know, this whole series is going to be compiled into a book. I'm an author of many, many art books, and this will be another one. And I've invited people, and yourself included, if you want to be involved and have your work featured in the book. There's links in the description box below which give you all the information about that. But he's not going to be in it because he, shockingly, I know, is not a woman. And really, I only have about 12 projects that I can feature in there just because it's cost prohibitive to have super long full color books. Costs a lot to print. So I'm really limited, and I don't really want to have a dude in my women's book. You know what I'm saying? I think that would probably be warranted to just have my own book on guys. So that being said, I had so many requests to do one that I thought I would definitely put him in the series for those that want to follow along and learn in real time, or, you know, just see the process or whatever. I definitely always take the time to do men from time to time. I do also have a book called How to Draw Fun Fed Fellas, because some people are like, you don't even have any books. And I'm like, no, I actually do. But shockingly, nobody buys it, because at the end of the day, and my man-based projects on my YouTube channels, both of them are like the least views of all. So I feel bad I don't do a lot, but I feel like when I do them, it's not actually what people are really looking for. So I think it's kind of cool to do one again from time to time, just to like not leave out an entire gender. But at the end of the day, I feel like people that are, at least in my audience and myself included, we just like drawing pretty things, and sometimes the girls' faces are just prettier. It's weird to kind of explain, but if you do a lot of art journaling, which I do, and mixed media work too, you kind of are adding faces in your art journals and your mixed media projects. And you'll see a lot of these on my mixed media channel. It's just like part of a bigger scene, or it goes with a quote, and it becomes like kind of an inspirational element in its own right and its own accord. It's nothing to do with the actual like person that you're drawing. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where the kind of whimsical girl comes from. So yeah, faces are kind of complicated. They're used in art for a lot of different reasons. But that being said, I feel like my own personal drawing skills, and I can see it like crazy in my students that are actually, especially the ones that are actually taking the times that actually really truly watch the videos and color along with me. I mean, their work is just nuts. So there has to be something really big, something to be said about those who watch and just watch to learn passively, and for those who actually pick up their pencils and their markers and color along. You'd be really surprised what a difference that could make. So I highly suggest, if you haven't actually tried drawing along to one, that you do, because you'll see yourself improve like crazy. It is really crazy to watch and to be a part of that and feel and experience that transformation for yourself. So yay. So next week, I'm going to be doing back to women. I have had a request to do an upturn face, so I might have my last 3. So this is week 12 in the series. I took a week off last week just to do the marker comparison, like I said. So this one will not be included in the book, but it is for those of my students and followers who requested that I do woMAN. So I do have a few more that I can include in the book. So I'm going to have an older, mature woman, like I said last week, with some wrinkles. I want to have that be taught in real time. And I want to do another woman that has an interesting face angle, and I think maybe an upturned face. One of my Patreon members requested that of me just today, a few hours ago, and I thought actually that will be amazing, and I think it would be something really well received, but also appreciated for a lot of different people, because I know that's something that a lot of people struggle with. So I try to incorporate, aside from just having interesting projects or varied projects, but also have things that people genuinely are trying to get better at doing. I also was not super happy with this highlighter. It was too much for his poor little face. Ugh. So many reasons why I'm not happy with this picture. Now he looks kind of fine. It's actually been a while. It's been about a week since I laid eyes on him, and he doesn't look as bad as he does in my memory. But yeah, I think I'm just sad because he's not a girl. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. But again, I learned a lot, as I learn with every single project. There's some things that go right, there's some things that go wrong, and that's just, if you can also accept that that's gonna happen for each and every project that you're doing, then you actually can get over that a lot faster. Because when you make a mistake or something's not quite right, you're like, oof, well, I knew it was going to happen somewhere. I guess that's the one for this project. And then you can just move on, and it's a little bit less defeating after that. So lots and lots of layers, lots of highlights and shadows. I specifically chose this one because of the interesting shadows on his face. But it made it a challenge, and it made me a little uncomfortable because it was something I'd never tried before. But again, I'm always trying to push myself, push my students, and we all get better, become better artists because of it. So super excited. Next week, we are going to be doing, again, back to the women. I'm super excited. Make sure you subscribe so that I can meet you back here next week and we can get our art on together.